First of all, Merry Christmas. All year long has been leading up to this video, and it's taken me about 2 or 3 weeks to decide who I want to put in each spot. If I sat down and tried to remake this list again, it might be 10 completely different figures because it varies that much. It's been a really strong year for Mattel. The only drawback has been the new factory that they switched to. The joints don't seem to work that well. There's a lot more paint issues than there used to be, but for the most part, Mattel had a very strong year. So let's go ahead and get into the top 10 WWE Elites of 2024.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be counting down the top 10 WWE Elites of 2024. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. All right, so first off, I do want to throw a few honorable mentions out there because this has been a hard time to decide what's the top 10. I'm sure you saw in the intro there. But the first honorable mention I want to give a shout out to is the Legends Hogan. I don't remember what series this is actually from, but you talk about something that's going from TV straight to figure form. This is perfect. I'm not even the biggest Hulk Hogan guy, but he does get the most unique variants, as you'll see in next week's basic video. But it's just such a good figure, and it's what you would expect. I love how he comes with the specific gloved hands, and he's like holding, well, he's supposed to be holding a guitar pick, but it's kind of just his fingers together. But like, it's an exclusive hand just for this one figure to use. But that's one figure that I wanted to mention in the honorable mentions. There's a few more though. I want to mention the Pete Dunne or Butch Elite figure from his Money in the Bank match from 2023. It's just an all-around good figure and literally does like everything you would need it to do. The only hindrance of this figure is the ongoing factory issues with Mattel and their new Vietnam factory. It's just, it has leg issues, but that's no fault of the figure itself. It's just the execution of the factory at this point. But there's Pete Dunne, of course. Then I want to give a shout out to WWE Elite Series 113. The whole set, honestly, was absolutely solid. From Dragon Lee to Trick Williams to Tiffany Stratton, even Carlito, but just the face is a little weird on that one, so that's why I don't want to throw that one up here. But like, it's just solid figures, and honestly, I love the whole wave. I think they're very good. And then just to include 2 more honorable mentions, I do want to give a shout out to my NXT boys. You guys know I love NXT. The Tony D'Angelo Elite along with the Channing Stacks Lorenzo Elite. I just think these are really good. Channing, well, no, both of them actually had unique molds for their figures, and I loved them a lot. I thought they were solid figures. But let's go ahead and get into the top 10. Coming in at number 10, and it could be recency bias, it could just be me being a big fan of him, but I'm going with the WWE Elite Series 114 Tomaso Ciampa. This is a solid figure. I've always been a fan of the Ciampa figures. I do believe the vest comes up a little high now that I'm thinking about it, but the work of the gear, I can't remember if it is, is it Davenport or like Main Event Gear or Main Event Wear or whoever it is that designs DIY's gear. They do a really good job, and I cannot wait for the corresponding Johnny Gargano to come out with this. It's just a solid figure, and I'm very happy to have it. I'm a big fan of Tomaso. Coming in at number 9 is the Monday Night Wars Elite of Stone Cold Steve Austin from the night he got arrested. I think the face scan is absolutely perfect, captures the moment well. The handcuffs, the handcuffs that come with Big Boss Man are supposed to be the ones to use with this, but I'm using the ones from the Dominic Mysterio Ultimate. But it looks really good. Mine has a slight paint defect on the eyebrow, the left eyebrow there, but I'm not gonna let my one paint defect ruin a really good figure. So he's coming in at number 9. We got a bald pairing right here. Coming in at number 8 is a shocker to me, honestly, because I did not think this would actually make my list. And then I sat and thought about it. I was like, you know what? This might be his best figure in the 14 years that he has been part of the WWE Mattel license. And I'm going with Elite 113 Kofi Kingston. Like I said, Elite 113 was an absolute powerhouse of a set. I love this so good. It moves so well despite having the woes of the new factory. I talked about this in my review. I love the gear choice. The shoes are good with the new ankle pivot, so they're kind of more of a premium figure. It's just a really good figure overall. The only Kofi Kingston figure I think that comes close to this, obviously your New Day sets are really cool to have, but the Decade of Domination in his Jamaican gear, I really love that figure. But Kofi Kingston from Elite 113 is going at number 8. Coming in at number 7 was kind of a late addition for me personally because I've never found this set in stores, and that is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collab Cody Rhodes. As a kid, I loved Casey Jones, a big fan of him. And you know what? Side note, you see the way that this is like sculpted on here? If they, or not sculpted, it's painted, but if this was sculpted, they could have used this for Casey Jones and they could have used this for the CM Punk figures in order to have sculpted wrist tape. That would have been freaking sick. And even where it would have been like skin colored here, they could have just painted it white and people wouldn't have like worried about it too much. Anyway, this looks very good. He comes with the hockey stick. He comes with the baseball bat. Instead of the Nightmare weight belt, you now have the Nightmare utility belt going around the torso. It comes with the cloth shirt that is very nice. I kind of want to put that on another Cody figure, but I don't want to ruin the look of it here, along with the Casey Jones mask that has the Nightmare logo on it, followed by the head scan that we've seen from Cody that we all like so much. It gets the job done. This is a really solid figure, and I'm not one for the collab sets at all, like Ghostbusters or anything like that, Masters of the WWE Universe. It doesn't scratch the itch, and to be honest with you, Ninja Turtles doesn't scratch the itch either. But a good figure is a good figure, and Cody Rhodes is a great figure. Coming in at number 6 is one I called from about the spring of this year. I said, if I could get my hands on it, that's going to be in the top 10. Well, lo and behold, I ended up getting my hands on it probably in October or November, and that is the Shinsuke Nakamura Chase. One thing about it, Bill McKenna knocks the Asian talent out of the water when it comes to their figures, and the white gear was insane. It's actually sitting on my shelf over there right now beside Joe Hendry for whatever reason. But the red attire from his match with Muta, I think the red was more striking than the white, along with the I don't even know what you want to call this, like the add-ons to the sleeves. It's just a solid looking figure. It definitely captures Nakamura, and it's a new torso for Nakamura, which was a nice addition. But this is exactly what you would expect from a figure that has like proper work put into it, and Bill McKenna knocked it out of the park. So that's why Shinsuke Nakamura is number 6 on my list. Alright, let's go ahead and crack into the top 5. From the moment this was announced, I knew this was going to make the list. There's just so many unique parts on it, and it just has a stage presence and a necessary piece to your Bloodline collection, and that is the High Chief Peter Maivia. I love the build of this figure. I love the cloth sarong. It comes with the ulafala. It comes with the necklace. I don't know what that's supposed to be. It comes with the High Chief headdress. Unique head scan that we've never seen before. I don't remember the last time. Did we get a Jax High Chief Peter Maivia? I'm sure we did. But it took 14 years for us to get a High Chief from the Mattel line. And it's such a good figure. Also, one like personal thing is I think the like abdomen and the thigh tattoos look really cool for Polynesian wrestlers. I saw it a lot when I was over in Hawaii going to luau's, and it's just a cool thing of the culture and just a nice addition to this figure. So High Chief is coming in at number 5. You know, it's kind of crazy. We had to have like 4 years of the Bloodline story before we got a High Chief Peter Maivia, who is arguably one of the like originals, you know what I mean? But anyway, number 4 is a beautiful figure, and of course following this past weekend we had to add a little addition to it, and that is the Elite 108 Chelsea Green Chase. This Chase is from her return, I believe, at the 2023 Royal Rumble. Yeah, we'll go with that. But this past weekend she won, at the time of recording, let me go ahead and add that. At the time of recording, this past weekend, she won the Women's United States Championship. Yeah, it's the wrong belt, like the strap color. Yeah, it has the Austin Theory side plates. I had to find a use for that title for some reason. But the Chelsea Green figure is great. Going back to the unique sculpts of the boots, those are unique sculpts. These thighs are actually unique. The whole torso, the arms are all painted on, unique head, unique hat, and she came with the little cloth skirt thing. Everything about that was great. But Chelsea Green is coming in at number 4. Now that we're jumping into the top 3, this figure is phenomenal, but I think it's going to be bested early in the beginning of next year, and that is the Elite 110 Rhea Ripley. This is Rhea in her white attire from her match against Zelina Vega at, what was it, Backlash 2023. Zelina would have made this list, but I have a really big issue with the hair sculpt on there because it sits really weird, just makes her head look gigantic, and I didn't think it did her justice. Also, I couldn't find the flag accessory. But this Rhea Ripley is great. This is the first time we're getting the new build for her with the thicker torso, I guess you want to call it, chest, the thicker arms. She should have had muscular arms from the get-go, but Mattel just dropped the ball on that. But this Rhea Ripley is very nice and just like unique sculpting galore. And they're going to have to keep adding tattoos to her figures because they just, it's getting crazy. But Rhea Ripley is going to come in at number 3. Coming in at number 2 is the WWE Elite 113 once again. So you've seen 3 of them, what was it? 3 or 4 of them mentioned in the honorable mentions, and then 2 actually on the list. That's crazy. Yeah, no, 3 of them were on honorable mentions, and then 1 of them wasn't. Anyway, the other one is CM Punk. This is him in his Macho Man themed attire. I've wanted this in, like, I think we got it as a basic back in the day. Did we? I can't even remember, but like it's so good, and so many figures are like just straight black gear, and I love things that pop. I mean, I have Braun Breaker just off to the side because the figure pops. Like, I love the bright gear because it really adds an extra element to it, and this scratched that itch for me. It also came with the, what was it, the Nexus shirt, or the new Nexus shirt, and I think it might have came with the armband that I took off, but it does look good. Also, since people are probably wondering why this figure is not on the list, that is the Defining Moments Punk. You can consider it an honorable mention. The only reason it is not an honorable mention is because for a defining moment you would expect everything to be near perfect, but the hands don't have the hand tattoos on them. He's missing the drug-free from his hands, which is like synonymous with CM Punk. So that's the only reason this isn't on the list, because this is a figure we've all wanted. But we'll go ahead and put him back off to the side and get into number 1. Number 1 on the list was definitely a surprise to me once again, but it could be recency bias, or it could be the fact that it's just all around a great figure. And that is the WWE Elite Series 114 Jey Uso. This is exactly everything that you would need for a perfect Jey Uso figure. From the pants, I love the design on the pants. I love the tank top, the yeet. You got the sleeve with the yeet going down. Only thing that would have made it better would be the glasses that say yeet on them. But I'm putting Jey Uso at number 1. That's probably going to be a hot take. This whole list might be a hot take, but I want to know what your guys' top 10 is down in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and last but not least, take it easy.